What's going on, everybody? I'm Screech. This is Retro Card Collector, and today we're going to look at 5 hidden gems on the NES that you can pick up for under $20. So let's say you just found your NES in the attic or the garage and you hooked it up to your TV and played the games you had, and you thought, you know what, it'd be nice to pick up some other games that aren't going to break the bank. Now, I put together a list of 5 games that are going to be more hidden gems. I mean, everyone's heard of some of these games. Everyone probably knew someone that had 1 or 2 of them. But these games are more tucked away. Some of them you might have never heard of. The first one we're going to look at is going to be our cheapest game on the list, at about a $5 to $7 game, depending on where you're at. About $5 American, you can pick this one up. And it was published by Nintendo for the NES. Now, there is arcade versions of this that are probably really fun, but I've never tried. Super Spike V-Ball. Now, this one you can play up to 4 players if you have the 4 score or the NES Satellite. You can also play it single player if you want, and it is so much fun. Now, it's gonna take a bit of getting used to because you wanna get those timings right when you're spiking the ball, get the jumps in, make sure you're ready for when the other players are gonna spike it at you so you can jump and dig that ball up or bump that ball, get it ready for that set and spike that's coming up. Now, this one took me 1 game to kind of really get into, and after that, I was having so much fun I didn't want to stop playing. I literally mopped the floor with the first team and then was having just a blast catching this footage. Something to know is you can actually change who's on your team, and if you're going through there, you might find a couple that look a little familiar to you too. Because in here, we're gonna find Billy and Jimmy, the heroes from the Double Dragon series, and you can actually play as them, which is super cool. Now, I have a friend that used to play this one, and he told me that they used to not allow the super controllers and stuff because they had so much fun playing it. And like $5 American, you can pick this up and add it to your collection. Super fun. You can have people over and play it, do like a little LAN party, go back in time, get some Mountain Dew and order some pizza, have your friends over, play 4 players Super Spike Volleyball on the Nintendo. You're gonna have a lot of fun. Now, the next one on our list is going to be a tactical shooting game, and it's pretty cool because you get to not only do like a side scroller, you get to do like a gallery style shooting, and then a first person game to it too. And this one's only going to be like between $7 and $9 if you can find it. It's going to be Rescue the Embassy Mission. Now, this one is really cool, but you're going to want to take your time and really figure it out. Watch out for those spotlights when you're in the side-scrolling level, because they will wipe you out quick and in a hurry. You're going to start this game, you're going to have to move your guys to the designated spots. Now, it's going to be side-scrolling. You can tuck and duck and cover. You can also crawl in places if you need to get through. If you press the A or the B button, it'll take you to a map, so you can kind of see where you're at, so you don't get past where you want to take that person. Go to the X, hide them in there, and then you move on to the next one. Now, once you get them all hidden, or one of them hidden and the other 2 die like happened to me, you're going to go into a sniper mode, like a shooting gallery one you can do. Now, you're going to want to look around through the buildings, see if you can find any silhouettes of the terrorists that you can pop, and kind of clear that building a little bit before you send your guys in there. Now, the third bit was really difficult for me because I didn't quite understand it. So I'm going to tell you so you don't have issues that I had. When you're rappelling, if you just press down, you're going to go run out of rope, fall to your doom. So what you want to do is you're going to want to go down and up. Don't go too far down, and then press up on the D-pad. Down and up, down and up, down and up, until you get lined up with that window. Then hammer onto the buttons, and you'll smash through it, and you go into this super cool first-person mode. Now, you're going to want to pay attention to the little arrow and the mini-map on the side there. That's going to tell you which direction you're facing. It's also going to show you where the terrorists are. They're going to be the little green dots. And once you find them, you have to spin around because they're kind of moving around the room with you. And then you can shoot them with your guns. clear that building, and then you're good. This game is super cool because it's got all those different dynamics to it. And for a game that's under $10, this is really a good pickup. You can goof around, you can do different parts of it different ways. This is a really cool one. And I'm surprised I haven't heard more about it. I do know this is on a lot of people's hidden gem lists, but I wanted to kind of compile a list that was kind of the cheaper ones, because a lot of those other lists you see, they'll have this $10 game or $5 game on there, and then they've got a $300 game on there that, yeah, it's a hidden gem, hidden because my wallet doesn't have $300 in it, like just blow. So that's why I want to put this list together. Some just low end ones, you can get these for under 20 bucks. So find them and pick them up.
Do it. Do it.
Okay, the next one on my list for these hidden gems is a kind of a real hidden gem, I think, because I'd never heard of this one until I grabbed it. And it is really cool. This is the kind of game where it's difficult, but you know you can do it, so you just want to keep on trying. And then when you kind of get the hang of it, you're like, oh man, this is a lot of fun. And it's by Square, so the people that brought us Final Fantasy. It's going to be King's Knight. Now this one's like a vertical scrolling shooter, and it is really cool. Now as you can see here, I'm going to start out as the knight. You're going to get to play 4 different characters. There's a knight, there's a wizard, there's a monster, and there's a thief. And each one of them is going to have a little different landscape. Now you see what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to blast as much of the landscape out as possible while avoiding all this stuff. This is like a really cool idea for a vertical shooter, in my opinion. Something you're going to want to pay attention to is you see all these arrows that are coming out. Now, the up arrows are good. They'll heal you. The down arrows are going to hurt you. So if you pick up too many down arrows, you will die. Now, there's also other items that you need to find. I believe there's 4 items for each of the characters in each of their lands. You're going to want to figure out where all those are. It's kind of a bit of a memory game where you need to figure out where they are and try to get a hold of them, because you need every single one of them to be able to beat the final boss. So you kind of have to do this one a little perfect, but it's just so much fun. Whoever thought of this, I mean, I'm playing as a knight doing a vertical shooter. I'm not a spaceship for once. This is a really neat concept. Now, if we go down these stairs, we're going to end up in a dungeon, and we're going to want to power through, again, as much of the landscape as you can. Now, I believe with the knight, you do have to find like a jumping item, and then you can jump on top of one of the landscapes and get to some other stuff. Like, there's a lot of thought put into this, and I really like this game. It might not be for everybody. I'm sure some people are going to say it's really hard, but this just seems really fun to me. I really like blasting all this stuff and just cruising through. Now, if you have a super controller or the NES Advantage or something that gives you that turbo option, that makes this game a little bit easier. It's definitely one of those ones where you kind of want that option, because then you can just hold the button down. And then when we get to the end of like the dungeon here, now we're going to have to deal with this bird bat monster thing. I don't know, this game is really fun, and I'm really excited to dig into it a little bit more and see what else I can figure out in it. And you can pick this one up between like $9 and $13. So again, another one that's like in that $10 ballpark. That is a really fun game. This one, if I just found my Nintendo and I didn't know anything about the games that I've collected already, this one, 100% on the list. I would get this one right away and play it. It is so much fun. It's so good. King's Knight. Squaresoft. Like, who would have thought, right? All right, so we're kind of moving out of those $10 games and we're moving into that $15 to $20 kind of range on this one, but it's well worth it. For 20 bucks, it's totally worth it. It's going to be Heavy Barrel. Now, this is going to be a run and gun by Data East, and this one is really fun. There is an arcade version of this. The NES version, I really enjoy. Kind of be careful with where you're aiming on some of it. You got to get used to the aim on this. And once you do, once you start getting like the upgraded weapons and moving through the levels, oh, this one is a lot of fun for under $20. And it's a run and gun that you can play with 2 players. Make sure you pick up all the parts to the gun you're looking for, the Heavy Barrel. This is such a good game. And really, like, for 15 to 20 bucks, Yeah, put this one on your Christmas list for sure. So, if you've watched some of my videos or anything like that, you might know that I do love me a good roleplay game. And this one kind of falls into that action roleplay, which it's like a Zelda clone. It came in that time, that like 5 years after Legend of Zelda came out, that we had all these like Zelda clones popping up. And this one is a really cool one. Now, this one's going to be pushing that $20, but it's worth it. Now, this is going to be $17 in the States and about $23 Canadian. You can find it for cheaper. I promise you can. It's going to be Willow. Now, this is like super loosely based on the movie. If you haven't seen the movie Willow, pause, go watch Willow. If you like 80s, 90s movies that are just weird and awesome all at the same time, go watch Willow. And this one is kind of loosely on that. Now, there was 2 Willow games released by Capcom. One was an arcade, and then this one came to the NES. Now, this is an action RPG, and it is a lot of fun. It's going to take some figuring out and getting used to. You're going to get that sword at the start, and I promise, he swings it so slow that you're going to want to run from some of the enemies. But once you start to build and you start to level up, that sword's going to swing faster. You're going to get better equipment, better gear. There's no money in this game. Everything you do is fine. You don't got to save up to get something. You got to talk to somebody, and they're going to be like, here, have this. Here's free stuff. It also has a password system, and there's no battery in this one. It's got a password system, so you have to take a picture with your phone. You don't got to write it down anymore like we did when we were kids, right? Which is awesome. Save a password in your phone and play Willow. I mean, for about the $20 mark, you're getting a really fun hidden gem here. And that's going to be 5 games for under $20 that are hidden gems on the NES. Really fun games. I had so much fun playing these for footage for this video that honestly, I'm going to put King's Knight back in and play it some more. Great games for under $20 that you can play on the Nintendo. So if you haven't dug that Nintendo out, go dig it out of the attic. Go find it. Call your parents, call your brothers, call your sisters. Ask them where that Nintendo is from your childhood. Get a hold of it. Find these. Find some of these games. Don't worry, we're going to do another one of these, and we're going to bump that price tag up to about that $40 range. And we're going to look at another 5 that are going to be under $40. And if you know of some that are real hidden gems for under $40, leave them in the comments. I'll track them down, and we'll add those to another list. Let's go through a whole bunch of Nintendo games that are under $40 that you should go out and pick up. If you've never thought of collecting Nintendo games, this is a good place to start because it's really going to give you games that you're going to be excited to play. And this list gives you a little bit of all of them, like the different genres of the games. And if you have 4 people to play Super Spike V-Ball, go out and find the 4 score. Get some controllers and just have such a good time. These games are awesome. Every one of these games is fun. I had fun playing every one of them. Some were a little difficult, but they're still a lot of fun. So until next time, get out there, find some of these games, and real soon we'll talk about another 5. So until then, I'll see you later.